Hey everyone, I'm sorry I'm running a little bit late, my apologies. So I'm just going to set up the music and get that going for you. If you are joining me, thank you so much for coming along. Find yourself in a comfortable seated position on your mat and we will start very, very soon. If you're just joining, I'm just waiting for my computer to load, I'm sorry. My Spotify is being rather slow this evening, so feel free to have yourself sat down in a comfortable seated position. You might want to close down your eyes, bring your attention to your breath, and just start to bring yourself back into the room, leaving behind any worries that you've had in the day, any stresses, and then we'll make a start in a few moments' time. Okay, so thank you for waiting. I apologise sincerely. I hope everyone is well. I hope you all had a lovely break over the Christmas period. I hope that you have managed to find some peace within your life over this last week and that you are ready to just do a nice flow this evening. We're going to be focusing on opening up our hips a bit more. So the focus is on our hips, and so you might want to set yourself an intention around your emotions, because we know that lots of our emotions are stored in our hips and held there. So you may want to find that actually you set yourself an intention of just being kind to yourself, of having kind thoughts for yourself, for your body, or you may want to think of something that is more sort of personal to you. I think my intention for today's practice is going to be just to be present in the moment and to leave any worries from the external behind and really focus in on the internal peace that we can find within. So coming to start in a comfortable seated position, however that is for you. You want to place your right hand onto your chest, your left hand onto your abdomen, sort of at your diaphragm, so just underneath your ribs. Closing down your eyes, and then we're going to just take some breath, some moments of stillness and calm. Nice long inhales through the nose, exhales through the nose. Feeling the rise and fall of the belly and the chest. bringing our awareness into our breath. Feeling our lungs expanding and contracting. Our belly coming out as we inhale and pulling back in as we exhale, squeezing out every last drop of breath and air that we have in our lungs. You may want to be using your Ujjayi breath, creating that sound of waves if that's within your practice. You may want to think of your breath as a colour. Beautiful sunset, maybe an orange, maybe a purple, maybe a red. And as any thoughts might creep into our mind, just pushing them to one side for the moment. Just bringing our focus back to our breath, not holding any tension or any feelings towards those thoughts creeping in, just recognising them and letting them sort of ebb and flow. And releasing with our breath. Keeping your eyes closed, bring your hands into prayer at heart centre. Bowing down your head, thanking yourself for being here, for taking the time out of your evening, being grateful to have the option. Lifting up your head, opening your eyes with a nice big smile to start our practice. Okay, so as always we need to make sure that our joints are nice and warmed up, so we're going to start as we did in the last few weeks, starting with our toes, so coming to have our toes, our legs stretched out in front of us, just in a comfortable seated position. We don't want to be collapsing in our back, sitting up nice and tall with our chest out proud. Starting on an inhale with our toes pointing up to the ceiling and exhale, crunching them over. Inhale, pointing up, exhale, crunching over. Inhale and crunch. And exhale, folding. Inhaling up, exhale, folding. Now moving on to our feet, so inhaling, pointing our toes up to the ceiling, exhale, pointing our feet forward. Inhale, pointing up, exhale, forward. Inhale up, exhale, forward. Inhale up, exhale, forward. Two more, inhale up, exhale, fold. Inhale up and exhale, fold. Now moving our ankles in a clockwise direction to start with, just moving with a natural breath, so not making any changes to our breath at this point, just allowing our ankles to move around, keeping our toes flexing and pointing, really feeling all of those muscles throughout our feet, getting a lovely stretch, and then reversing in the opposite direction, really feeling those ankles warming up. As it's a bit chilly at the moment, you may have found that you haven't been outside walking around that much, you might have been sat down for the day. So we really need to make sure we're warming up those muscles, and then we also get the joy of warming up our calves and our shins at the same time. Okay, moving on to our butterfly. We're going to just come in to our butterfly. You may have found that if you've been joining me for the last few weeks that your butterfly has changed a little bit because you've become a little bit more flexible, depending on how much practice you've been doing. You may find that your butterfly is still a little bit further away. Wherever you're at is perfect for you. That's exactly where your body needs to be. So just starting to gently raise and lower our knees, sort of in a butterfly flapping their wings kind of a vibe. If you are here in a larger diamond, you might want to just try bringing your heels in a bit closer towards you See if you can really feel that lovely stretch down from the inside of your hip down your thigh. Okay, coming to sit in a comfortable position, that might be cross-legged for you, crossing over whichever leg is most comfortable. We're going to just move on to doing some spinal movement to prepare our spine and get ourselves sort of recognising that our core is engaged for our practice. So raising our arms up to the air, drawing our shoulder blades down, away from the ears. Take a nice inhale, feel your ribs coming out. Exhale, engaging your core. Really feeling that engagement through the core, sucking that belly button in towards your spine. We're going to place our right hand down on our mat, slide it away ever so slightly, and then with a bend of the elbow, taking a nice stretch overhead to feel that lovely stretch going all the way down our left side body, making sure that both bum cheeks staying on the floor, pulling that shoulder away from the ears. Mine was creeping up a little bit. And then inhale, coming up to center. Inhale, exhale, placing the hand and reaching over. Already we're starting to feel that stretch coming from inside of our hips. You may find that you're up like this, absolutely perfect. You may find that you're further away. You may want to walk your hand out a little bit. This is totally up to you. Move with your body, move with the action that works for you. At any point during today's practice, if you need to, take a moment and stop. Inhaling, coming back up to center. Place your hands down onto your knees. If at any point you do need to take a pause and realign yourself with your breath, please do. Don't overwork yourself, especially as we may have been doing a bit more sitting than we're used to, and lovely sort of relaxing time. We want to make sure we're taking that space for our body. So we're going to place our right hand behind our sort of right bottom, placing our left hand onto our knee and without any pressure, so you can try testing yourself with your hand off if you like, engaging that core and twisting round. Then apply some pressure. Inhale, exhale, twist. Keep that core engaged. See if you can take that left hand off your knee and stay in the same position. Then you know you're really working your abdomen and working your abdominal muscles. Inhale, exhale, final twist. And inhale back to center. Same again on the left side. So raising our left hand, placing it down just behind our left bottom cheek. Placing our right hand towards our left knee. Inhale, exhale, twist, engage that core. Test yourself, can you take your hand off? Even if you think you can't, give it a go. Maybe try just holding on with one finger so you get all of that lovely engagement through your core as opposed to overstretching round to the back. Inhale, exhale, one final twist. And then inhale back to center. Inhale, raising up our arms. Exhale, forward fold. For now, we're going to make sure that our bottom is staying on the floor. We're not raising up that bottom. And we're just going to hold here. For 3, keep breathing. 2, and 1. Place your fingertips down on the floor in front of you on your mat. And just walk yourself forward. Aiming to keep that back nice and flat so we're not crunching over before we need to. And just inhaling, taking 3 breaths here. And on your next inhale, come back up to seated. Okay, coming over into our tabletop position. Thinking about our alignment as always. You may find that you have some markers on your mat. If you do, that's perfect. If not, just check your alignment. Your shoulders should be stacked over your wrists. Your elbows should be facing in towards each other so we're not hyperextending. Our belly's sucked in, pulling our belly button in towards our spine. We've got our hips stacked over our knees, and we can either have our toes, tops of the feet down on the floor, or having our toes up. It's totally up to you. So we're going to start with some inhale, looking up to the ceiling. Exhale, rounding round that spine, tucking that tailbone in. Inhale, looking up, arching the back. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, rounding. As always, this will look different on everybody with all of our postures. We're moving with our own body. Nobody is you. Nobody's body is the same as you. Therefore, work with your own body at your own rate. And then exhale. Next, coming in to a neutral position. So we're going to really fire up that core, placing our left leg back. If last week you then took your hand off, perfect. If you didn't, and last week you just kept your hands down, maybe give yourself the challenge. See if we can lift that back leg up. Keeping our back foot flexed, pushing through our heel, engaging all of our muscles. We're aiming to keep our hips nice and square, and we're holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to crunch in and out for 2, 3, 4, 5, and then nice and gently coming back down to reset in our tabletop position. Moving on to our right leg kicking back, left arm reaching forward. Keep that shoulder engaged on your right side so we're not collapsing in. Kick back into your right foot, square those hips off, thinking about your alignment, your tips of your fingers all the way down to the back of your heel, holding for 3, 2, engage that core, 1, and crunch for 1, 2, 3, 4, and last one, 5. Nice and gracefully placing ourselves back into our tabletop position, taking our toes to touch and coming down to a wide leg child's pose. Just taking a few moments to reconnect with that breath, refocusing the mind, allowing the belly to soften. If at any point during today's practice you need to take child's pose, you can either take this wide leg child's pose or a closed leg child's pose, totally up to you. Move with your body, move with your breath. On your next inhale, coming back up to our tabletop, resetting our position, tucking under our toes, and then kicking back into our first downward dog. You're going to just walk out your downward dog here. Looking under each elbow, you might want to sort of twist around. You can really feel that lovely twist down your side body. Checking your alignment, thinking about your middle finger facing forward. Your thumbs are facing in towards each other. Your elbows are facing towards each other. Your triceps are down and round with your armpits facing towards each other. Your feet are about hip distance apart. Just walking through. Feel that lovely stretch down the backs of your calves and back down the backs of your thighs. Coming to find some stillness here. Sucking that belly in, pushing those hips high. On your next inhale, you're going to raise your right foot up into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, you're going to come forward to plank. You're going to see if you can hold in plank for a moment, keeping that right leg raised. We're going to inhale, exhale, see if you can keep that right leg raised, chaturanga. And then up to up dog. Pushing back over into our downward dog. Little modified vinyasas here. Inhale, raising your left leg up. Coming forward to plank, keeping that left leg up if you can. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga. And down dog. Up dog, sorry, not down dog. Now moving over into down dog. That is our extension for today. If you want to take some modifications, you might like to place your knees down as we go through chaturanga. It's totally up to you where you are at. So we're going to do 5 rounds of this little modification. If you can, keep that leg off, give it a go. I'm going to see if I can make it to all 5 rounds. I'm not entirely convinced, but we're going to see together. So inhale, raising that right leg up, three-legged dog. Coming forward to plank. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog, left leg. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. That's 1. Inhale, raising your leg. Coming forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, raising the left, forward to plank. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, back down. Woohoo! We're building some heat. Inhale, coming forward to plank. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga, keeping those elbows in. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left side. Coming forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga, keep those elbows in. And then inhale to up dog. Inhale, right leg. Coming forward to plank. Oh, I need to check my alignment because my hands have got a bit slippy. So we are in plank. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga. And then inhale, up dog. Inhale, raising your left leg. Forward to plank. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Last one on each side. Inhale, right leg up, come forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. The final one, inhale with your left leg, coming forward to plank. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Up dog. And then coming down into a wide legs child's pose. Taking a moment to reconnect with that breath. Giving yourself a little bit of gratitude for what you've just done. And then coming up into our downward dog, coming through tabletop for our downward dog. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, raising your right leg up, placing it between your hands. Coming up into warrior 1, placing that back foot down, squaring off those hips. Inhale, exhale out to warrior 2. Inhale, flip your palm, reach forward, And then exhale, reverse your warrior. Keeping that strength in that front leg. Inhale, up to warrior two. You're going to rotate your back foot so we're sort of in the position of warrior one. Clasping our hands behind our back, chest proud, into humble warrior. Reconnect with your breath. On your next inhale, raising back up, releasing your hands into warrior two. You're going to bring your back foot so your heels are facing towards each other. Your toes are pointing out. We're going to take goddess pose. So bending our knees, tucking in that tailbone, engaging the core, having our arms out in cactus if you like, or you can have them in prayer, or down here, I don't mind, wherever you want to have them. We're going to inhale, reaching up, and exhale, sink a little deeper. Inhale up, exhale, sink down. Really tucking that tailbone in so we're not sticking our bottom out, engaging that core. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Tucking that tailbone in, bringing our hands to prayer. Taking a moment, seeing if you need to readjust yourself. Maybe giving some little side to sides. Thinking about opening up those hip joints a little bit more and feeling that lovely opening through our hips as we are here in goddess pose. Inhale, coming back up to standing. We're going to twist our right foot so that we are now in warrior one on our left side. Checking our alignment of our feet. I need to move mine over a little bit. In our warrior one on our left side. Inhale, open up to warrior two. Taking a moment to check your alignment. The heel of your front foot should be in the middle of your back foot. Inhale, flip your palm, reach forward. Exhale into your reverse warrior, keeping that weight in the back foot on the outside of your foot and pushing through your front thigh. Inhale, and then coming back up to warrior two. Coming around into warrior one, clasping those hands again. Inhale, and leaning forward for humble warrior. On your next inhale, raising back up, woo, into our warrior one, coming through a moment of goddess, and then coming back to face the top of our mat, where we're going to just fold down and let ourselves hang for a moment in ragdoll. Placing your hands onto your hips, bend of your knees slightly, one vertebrae at a time. Coming back up to standing. Okay, we're going to take some chair pose, so Utkatasana. Just making sure that your feet are hip width apart. Big toes are touching, but our ankles are not. We're going to place the middle fingers down onto the mat, keeping our chest nice and proud, coming up engaging that core into our chair pose, keeping those shoulders away from the ears. Just holding, sucking that belly in, tucking that tailbone. For 3, 2, and 1. Coming to ragdoll. Once more, giving our legs a little wiggle. And then you're going to place your hands down on the floor if you can, heel toe your feet out to Malasana. I'm just going to rotate around so that you can see me. So coming into Malasana, our yogi squat. In our yogi squat, we have got the heels of our feet facing inwards, our toes are pointing outwards. You may find that your heels aren't quite on the ground and you're up here. Absolutely fine. You may find that this is your Malasana. Absolutely fine. Whatever is working for you. We're aiming to get our bum facing down, and we're applying a little bit of pressure to our knees, bringing our hands into prayer, feeling that lovely opening through our hips. Just closing down our eyes here for a moment. On your next inhale, you're going to place your left hand down onto your mat, keeping that pressure on your knee. And then you're going to spine your chest open. And if you would like to take a bind here, you can reach round the back of you, around that front knee, to bind your hands together, clasping together at your fingertips. Looking up towards the ceiling. If you are in the bind, amazing. If you're not quite there, equally as amazing. On your next inhale, if you're in the bind, coming back out, and then coming to centre. Moving on to the opposite side, placing our right hand down onto the mat, keeping that pressure on our knee, drawing our left arm up. And then if we want to try taking the bind on this side, feel free. You may find that one side of your body is more open than the other. That is completely normal. You may find that normally or in previous practices you've been able to achieve something that you couldn't before, or that actually you've been able to achieve something today that you haven't been able to. Just allowing yourself to move with your body however it is today. On your next inhale, placing your hand back down and coming back into centre. Really feeling that lovely opening through our hips. So you're now going to, using your hands for stability, don't just plop yourself down because you'll hurt your bottom, coming back down to sitting on your mat. We're going to place our legs out in front of us, and we're going to try a posture called Jirisusasana. So we're going to place our, actually let's do the right side first. The right foot, no, the left foot onto the inner right thigh. We're sort of aiming to have our knee joint facing outwards with our hips squaring off. We're keeping our engagement throughout our right leg and also in our left leg, so pointing our toes up to the ceiling. Really feeling that engagement, raising our arms up, drawing those shoulder blades down, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale and exhale, fold. You may find that this is enough for you. You may want to grab hold of your foot, you may want to grab hold of your shin. We are making sure that we have got a flat back and our gaze is sort of just in front of our big toe. So it might be the end of your mat. For me, that is what's working for me because of my positioning. If you are holding onto your feet, you can clasp your hands behind, but you are really making sure that you have got that straight back. Inhale and exhale. See if you can fold a little bit deeper. Inhale, release, exhale, fold just that tiny bit deeper. Last one, inhale and exhale, fold. Without rounding through that back, trying to keep it nice and straight. On our next inhale, raising back up to our starting position, moving on to the opposite side. Placing our right foot on the inside of our left thigh, squaring off our hips, engaging all of the muscles throughout both of our legs, raising our arms up, drawing our shoulder blades away from the ears. Inhale and exhale, fold. So for me, my left side is much tighter than my right. So the temptation to curve my spine is much, much stronger. So I'm going to just grab hold of my front foot. Inhale and exhale, pulling forwards and down. Exhale, going a little bit deeper, keeping that gaze forward. Last little stretch. And inhale, coming back up to centre, releasing that right leg, giving our legs a little bit of a wobble out. We're going to move into our boat pose. So, last week you may have found that you were here, perfect. This posture is really easy to collapse into your back and think, oh, I'm doing it, look how amazing. Actually, we're better off keeping our chest proud, keeping our elbows in and having our feet just touching the floor. That is much better for you than collapsing through your back and having yourself not feeling the full effects of the posture. If you want to try raising your feet, amazing. If you want to try letting go with your hands, even more amazing. This is a posture which I'm still really working on for my personal practice. I have to really engage everything, and I haven't got quite to the point of being able to raise my legs much more than this without shaking and falling out of my posture. So for me, this is enough of a challenge. If you can go a bit deeper and raise your legs straight up, then amazing. Please feel free, just make sure that your back is nice and straight and you're engaging your abdomen and your abdominal muscles. Okay, we're going to slowly come down, not all the way, and then we're going to pull back up. So we're going to do these crunches 10 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, nearly there, 8, 9, and 10. Bringing our feet to touch the ground, pushing them out in front of us, and then just very slowly coming back down onto our mat. I'm just going to wiggle forward a little bit so you can see me. Just taking a moment to really allow the body to relax a little bit and to engage back with your breath. We're now going to bring our knees up and take either wheel or bridge. So bridge being our first variation. We're going to place our feet hip width apart, really pushing down, lifting up our hips, stacking our shoulders underneath and clasping our hands together. Making sure that our knees aren't splaying out like this and we're not collapsing through, that we've got our knees pulling in together. If you have a pillow or a block, you might want to place that in between your knees for something to hold on to, really activate those thighs, activating your bottom. If you want to then progress into wheel, please feel free. If you're not quite there and you haven't done wheel before, I would say please refrain. Still keeping those knees drawing in. And taking 3 more breaths here. If you're in wheel, coming down really slowly onto your head, protecting your neck. Not particularly the most glamorous thing coming out of wheel. If you're in bridge, gently rolling yourself down. And we're just going to window wipe those knees to loosen up that back. As we've done quite a lot of work today on both our legs, moving into our hips, getting a little bit of that ab workout, and then having that lovely stretch through our back just then. Coming to find some stillness, bringing our right leg ankle onto the top of our left knee, drawing our legs up and using the pressure from our right elbow onto our right thigh / knee area just to push through and deepen that stretch a little bit more. Bringing our legs in towards our chest. Both our feet are engaged, keeping our legs engaged and protecting our knees. Not forgetting our breath. And then releasing, moving on to the opposite side. So just lacing our arms through that window, putting that pressure from our left elbow onto our left knee. Bending that right leg, keeping those both feet engaged, engage all of our muscles. And feeling that beautiful stretch as we pull the knee just very gently in towards the chest. On your next inhale, just unraveling yourself, bringing your feet down, extending your right leg away from you, placing your arms out to the side, or if you haven't got much room, into cactus. Bringing our left knee, over the top of our right, pulling it over to the side, and looking over our left shoulder. Pinning those shoulder blades and shoulders down to the floor, allowing that lovely twist through our spine. Inhaling, raising the leg up and swapping over to the opposite side. So inhaling and exhaling, our gaze moves over to our right shoulder. Shoulders are pinned to the floor. Just feeling that lovely stretch down our spine. Inhaling, coming back up to centre, placing that right leg down away from us, moving into our final posture of Shavasana. You may want to have your legs up in butterfly with your soles of your feet touching. You may want to, if you've got any lower back issues, having your legs knock the knees together, your feet are just hip distance apart, really allows your lower back to fully relax. Or you may come into the classical style of Shavasana. The toes sending out to the side, the palms facing up to the ceiling. Taking a body scan, thanking your body for all the work it's done today and everything that it does for you every day. Taking yourself through a body scan, starting at your toes, relaxing all the way up to the crown of your head. feeling everything soften. Allowing your mind to be free from any thoughts. And any thoughts that do arise, just gently and kindly pushing them to one side. Taking this moment of stillness. And then just starting to re-energize the body, giving your fingers and toes a little wiggle. If you want to stay in Shavasana a little bit longer, please feel free. Those of you who are coming out with me, keeping our eyes closed, inhaling, raising up our right knee, just moving our body over towards the left. Taking a moment on our side. Placing our right hand onto our mat to push us up into a seated position, keeping those eyes closed if we can. Coming into a comfortable seated position with our hands in prayer at heart center. Taking a moment of gratitude, being grateful for the positive aspects of our life, being grateful for our health, everything that we have, knowing that we need nothing more. Finding gratitude for yourself, for coming onto the mat. I'm grateful for all of you for joining me. Bowing down your head. And then raising up with a lovely smile on your face. Fluttering up those eyes. Bringing your knuckles to your third eye in the middle of your forehead if you like. Namaste. Thank you so much everyone for joining me for the last flow of 2020. I hope you all have a restful evening and that I will see you in 2021 with some energy. And as always, if you have any questions, queries, please do drop me a message. If you have any requests that you'd like us to sort of develop into any postures or anything that you'd like to try, please let me know and I'll incorporate that into our practice as we move through January. And I will see you all next Wednesday. Have a lovely New Year's. Thank you so much.